Hello, boys and girls. It's been a long time since I had an opportunity to be able to talk with you via video. So, the last time we spoke, we did a spelling video. This time, we're going to be doing a video on journal writing. And what I wanted to talk to you about today that's going to be very important is learning how to write in a journal correctly. Okay. Um, as Miss Roberts goes through and shares with you her screen, I just wanted to show you what we'll be working with, okay? So as you can see here, my goal with you is to help you to follow standards that have been outlined and given to us from the State Department of Education. And the State Department says that you all will, with guidance and support from adults, produce writings in which development and organization are appropriate to task and purpose. Okay. So all that saying is that what happens is you have to know how to be able to write, whether it's in a journal, whether it's writing an essay, a report, or just any kind of writing stories, that kind of thing. So we want to make sure that we learn what we need to do in order to do that correctly and efficiently. All right. Also, the task that you're going to be working on today is writing in a journal. Just simple writing in a journal. The goal is that students will be able to write in a journal correctly every day. So that's what journal writing is all about, being able to write in a journal every day. Okay. Um, there are different types of journals that you can use. Some people like using tablets, spiral tablets. This is the one that I like to use. As you can see, it is a college rule, so you have more space in here to write. Some people use an what they call a composition notebook. I'm sorry, a composition notebook here, and the composition notebook would serve the purpose as well. However, I prefer for you to use the spiral notebook, and you're going to be using the spiral notebook writing every day. Okay, from now on, we'll be writing in a spiral um, notebook every day. The reason why I like the spiral is because of the fact that it's more aligned with you using regular paper to write with. Okay, so let's get started. As I share my screen with you, you'll see that I have different pictures of what we're going to be working with today. Um, if you give me just a second here, using Zoom is rather new for a lot of us. So what I want to do is share with you um, a sample writing. Okay, this sample writing. Hold on, just a second. I'm sorry, boys and girls. This sample writing is something that I feel is very important for you all to be able to understand what I'm doing here. So what Ms. Roberts is going to do is try to, oh, what happened to my screen? Sometimes things like this happen, so just hold on. Okay, so what Ms. Roberts wants to do here is to make this screen available to you so that you can see as I walk you through what's going on, okay? What we have here is a picture of a page that you're going to start writing on in your journal. And I advise you to watch this video, then go and get your journal and come back and watch it again and go through the steps with me, okay? So here we go. The first thing that we want to do is learn the parts of a page, all right? If you'll notice when you get your paper, you see two red lines, one on the left where the holes are and one on the right. The one on the right usually is kind of hard to see, but it's there, okay? These margins are meant for you to not write outside of them. We don't write outside the margin for the purpose of keeping things neat, okay? Long time ago, they said that when they didn't have margins on the paper, when children wrote, they wrote all over the desk and because they didn't know when to stop. So with this lets you know when to stop. It's like driving a car and you have a stop sign. You see that stop sign, you know you need to stop. So the same thing with the margin. You have one that here on the left that actually lets you begin, and then you have one on the right that tells you when to stop. So we write in the margin. You have a top margin up here there where you have a whole lot of space. You never should be writing your name and date up here, okay? Unless the teacher gives you some type of specific directions to do so, don't do it. Don't write up there, because that's where the teacher will write notes to you. Sometimes they write really good notes, and then sometimes they write some notes that you might not want to hear anything about, but it's all to help you, okay, to become a better writer. Here it says that you're going to put your first name and your last name on this line. According to what we're doing here at Cooper Carver Elementary School, we want everybody to learn how to head their papers correctly. Initially, I had the students writing and putting their name and date on the same line. However, because so many students have very long names and they can't get everything on the same line, we decided as a team that we would have students write their first name and last name on this line, and then right up under it, we'll put the month, day, and the year. In writing and reading class, we never abbreviate the month, day, and the year. We write it out because that's going to help you on the Georgia milestones. All right. If you'll notice on my paper, I have yellow highlights. Okay. These yellow highlights are to help you so that you would be able to skip lines. And the purpose for skipping lines is so that we can go back and make corrections before we do what we call a final draft. Anytime you're writing, you have a writing process. The first thing that you do in the writing process is that you brainstorm ideas, you pre-write. That means you think about what you want to write in your head and you kind of just jot down some ideas. Well, when you're journal writing, you don't have to really just like pre-write, you just write whatever's on your mind. But I'm going to show you how to write a paragraph as your first journal entry, okay? You had a video about that, writing a paragraph before, but I hope that this video will make that video even more clear as to what you need to be doing so you can understand the expectations. Okay, so right after you put your first name and last name and the month, day, and the year, well, under that, you're going to take your highlighter and you're going to highlight that line, because that means wherever we're highlighting, we don't write on that line, okay? That's to make the paper neat, and it gives us room to be able to write comments. So when we're editing our paper, we'll be able to make corrections when needed, okay? So you see here, I put subject, idea, or title, okay? The subject could be here. I mean, when you're writing in a journal, it's really your writing. The teacher should not be telling you a whole lot to write in your journal. You're supposed to just be writing. And since most of you who are at home are not here at school with us, I want you to start trying to figure out things that you want to write about. In your journal, you can write about frogs. You can write about having a bad day. You could write about what you ate. You could write about how you're feeling, whether you're happy about something. You could write about missing your friends. Write about your favorite place to go. It's so many things that you can write about in the journal, okay? And you should be writing in your journal every day. This is going to help you become a better writer. After we write our title here, or whatever we're going to talk about, we write it here. Then we skip another line. That's why you see the yellow highlight. And you have to indent your first paragraph. That means you move away from the margin. Remember, I told you have a left margin that tells us where to begin writing. Well, with your first sentence, you move over a few. And I always draw a little arrow. I try to make sure that my arrow is long enough that it shows that the first part of the sentence is not over here. Because if you see right here, you can see that all the rest of my paragraph is written close to the margin. Only this first sentence is not. Okay, and that's called indenting. If you can, say indenting. Okay, say indenting. I appreciate you. Okay, so the next thing, I wrote sentences, and so these sentences are what we call model sentences so that you can understand what we're doing. It's going to explain to you what writing a paragraph is about. So the first thing I do is capitalize the next thing after I indent is I capitalize the first letter of the first word in my first sentence. That first is a lot to do, and it's a lot to remember. So you always indent first, the first line or the first sentence of your first paragraph or each paragraph, and then you capitalize the first sentence of the first letter of the first word in the first sentence. Lot to say. So always indent the first sentence of each paragraph. Skip lines between each row of words. Always punctuate each sentence after you write. That word punctuate means that you should have something like a period, an exclamation point, or a question mark at the end of every sentence. That's how you know whether you have complete sentences or not, okay? We'll know that's where you should be ending the sentence, okay? So it says, make sure each paragraph has 5 or more sentences, 5 or more. Also remember that each paragraph must have a topic sentence and 3 supporting sentences and a concluding sentence. So yeah, this is a lot for you to learn in one session, but all I want you to do today is practice getting your journal, your tablet, and I want you to practice writing this paragraph that you see just like I wrote it. So you're going to need your pencil. You're going to need a pencil. You're going to need a highlighter, okay? And you need, I prefer you use like a red crayon or a red pen so that you can draw your arrow with in order to indent. So highlighter, pencil, and red pen or some color, a red pen, crayon, or something, okay, for you to be able to show that you drew your arrow to indent. Practice writing this week, and when I come back with my next lesson, we'll actually do a writing together that shows you what these words in here, such as topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence mean. So till the next time, peace out, chill out, and get with you later.